This is it. The storm we've been tracking all week is no longer a forecast. It's happening right now. Snow is already falling across eastern Tennessee and the mountains of North Carolina, and by tomorrow evening, some communities in the Carolinas will be digging out from the biggest snowstorm they've seen in over a decade, maybe 2 decades. For certain lucky locations, we could be talking about historic totals that rewrite the record books. Every single county in North Carolina and South Carolina is now under a winter storm warning. That's the entire state of North Carolina, the entire state of South Carolina. Winter weather advisories have pushed all the way into eastern Alabama, something I never would have predicted just 3 days ago. Atlanta is now under a winter storm warning. Think about that for a moment. Winter storm warnings extend from the Georgia coast through the Carolinas and up into Virginia. Extreme cold warnings reach all the way down to Lake Okeechobee in Florida. This is absolutely the real deal. Let me walk you through exactly what the models are showing tonight, because by tomorrow morning, we won't be forecasting anymore. We'll be measuring. The European model shows snow already falling where we expect it over eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. As we push into tomorrow morning, heavier returns start showing up over upstate South Carolina and the western Piedmont. Northern Georgia gets in on the action too. Then something interesting happens. Moisture starts bubbling up from the coastal development in eastern North Carolina, and the gap between the two snow shields begins to fill in. By tomorrow afternoon and evening, we've got a raging snowstorm across the Carolinas, with extremely cold temperatures driving snow ratios through the roof. Inch-per-hour snowfall rates will be common. Thunder snow is absolutely on the table. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. The NAM model tells a similar story but with more widespread moisture. I honestly don't buy the extreme dry slot that some guidance is showing. The NAM fills in that gap much better, showing heavy snow cranking across a wider area. Watch how the upper level low swings through. It drops a band of intense snow right over the southern Piedmont. At the same time, coastal enhancement kicks in along the Carolina coast. There's still a dry slot between those two features, but it's not completely dry, just an area of lighter snow. Here's what I'm confident about. Somewhere between Lancaster and northern Columbia, from Greenville-Spartanburg over to Charlotte, somebody is going to get 10 to 12 inches of snow. That banding feature keeps showing up in the same general area run after run. The question is exactly which towns end up underneath it. The National Weather Service offices have been steadily increasing their forecasts all day. Let me run through what they're calling for across the region. Starting in the mountains, Gatlinburg is looking at a foot of snow. The Tri-Cities area of Tennessee expects several inches. Greenville, South Carolina is now targeting 6 to 7 inches, a dramatic increase from earlier in the week. Spartanburg is looking at 6 to 7 inches as well. Gaffney could see 7 to 8 inches. Charlotte is going for 7 to 8 inches, and I genuinely think there could be an overachiever in that Charlotte Rock Hill Chester Union corridor. Columbia is targeting 6 to 7 inches of snow. Winnsboro jumped to 8 inches. Lancaster is at 7 inches. The forecasts in this region keep climbing, and I really believe someone between Columbia and Charlotte is going to surprise everyone with double-digit totals. Eastern Georgia has trended dramatically. Athens is now at 5 to 5.5 inches. Gainesville similar. Helen and Blairsville could approach half a foot. The far northeast corner of Georgia might see 6 to 8 inches. Even Macon is calling for an inch now. I didn't think this storm had a shot at reaching Macon 3 days ago. Atlanta could see 1 to 2 inches under their winter storm warning. The low country of South Carolina is now in play. Charleston is going for 1 to 3 inches. Moncks Corner 2 to 5. Orangeburg 3 to 5. Georgetown 3 to 6. Any snow in Charleston is notable. This is turning into a more significant event for the low country than anyone anticipated. Eastern North Carolina is where we could see the absolute jackpot. Jacksonville is targeting 5 to 11 inches. Wilmington, 3 to 8. This is blizzard territory. I fully expect the National Weather Service to upgrade winter storm warnings to blizzard warnings for the Outer Banks and far eastern North Carolina tomorrow. Winds will be gusting 60 to 70 mph along the coast combined with heavy snow. That's textbook blizzard conditions. The Raleigh area is where this forecast gets tricky. They're going for 4 to 9 inches, but That's a massive range. Some model guidance absolutely guts Raleigh while dumping a foot on Charlotte. Other models fill in the gap and give everyone substantial snow. Someone in that triangle to coast corridor is going to get a foot. Someone else might only get 3 inches. I think the dry slot is going to break someone's heart, but I'm hoping it doesn't. Southeastern Virginia has trended better. Norfolk is now targeting over half a foot. Franklin and Emporia have bumped up as well. Richmond finally got increased to 1 to 2 inches. Now, let me address the elephant in the room, that dry slot. Several models show a gap between the upper-level low enhancement and the coastal enhancement where snowfall drops off dramatically. If you're in Raleigh, Florence, or that corridor in between, you could end up sandwiched between 2 shields of heavy snow while barely getting anything yourself. The high-resolution models have been particularly cruel to the triangle in recent runs. I don't think it'll be quite that bad, but the possibility exists. The flip side is also true. Whoever gets underneath the heavy banding from either feature is going to see astronomical totals. The NAM shows a jackpot zone from Charlotte through the southern Piedmont into upstate South Carolina where someone absolutely gets over a foot. The coastal enhancement could drop a foot or more on the Outer Banks and far eastern North Carolina. Thunder snow is going to happen tomorrow. I'm calling it right now. The instability parameters support it, and model guidance shows lightning over Charlotte and surrounding areas during the afternoon, then again along the Carolina coast as the coastal low intensifies. When you see lightning during a snowstorm, that typically means snowfall rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour. Whoever gets underneath one of those thunder snow cells is going to get absolutely buried. The wind component of this storm is serious. By tomorrow afternoon, gusts of 25 to 35 mep will be common across the Carolinas. The Outer Banks will see gusts exceeding 60 mph, possibly approaching 70. Combined with heavy snow, that creates whiteout conditions and significant drifting. Travel will be impossible in those areas. The cold following this storm is brutal. Sunday morning low temperatures will be in the teens and single digits across the Carolinas. Some locations could drop below 0. This snow isn't going anywhere. The cold air will preserve it for days. We might get some melting from bright sunshine Sunday, but the bulk of whatever falls is going to stick around. Comparing this to historic winters, those of us who remember the legendary winters of 2013 know what an active pattern looks like. Winter Storm Nemo produced 40 inches in parts of New England. The December 2013 ice storm left over 1 million without power. What's happening in the Carolinas right now has similar historic potential for the communities that end up under the heaviest bands. For central South Carolina, this could be the most snow in 16 years. For parts of North Carolina, possibly the biggest in 20 years. There are kids across the Carolinas who have never seen snow like this. They're about to experience something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Here's my bottom line. Someone in the Carolinas is going to see their biggest snowstorm in decades. Double-digit totals are absolutely going to occur somewhere between Charlotte and Columbia. The Outer Banks face blizzard conditions with 60-plus mph winds and heavy snow. Eastern North Carolina could see totals approaching a foot. Even Atlanta is going to see snow under their winter storm warning. The dry slot is real and it's going to disappoint some people. But for everyone else, this is the winter storm we've been waiting for. By the time you wake up Sunday morning, the Carolinas will be transformed into a winter wonderland. Complete your preparations tonight. Stock up on supplies. Charge your devices. And if you're a snow lover in the Carolinas, get ready. This is going to be one for the history books. Stay safe out there, everyone. This is the real deal.